Hello, it's 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition. For tonight headlines. We have the National Disability Agency persons is organizing a workshop to popularize the inclusive biometric card. At least 14 dead after a glacier in the Himalayan peaks in India. Welcome to our newsroom. The Minister of Defense in charge of relations with Parliament, His Excellency Hassan Umar Mohammed, took part by video conference on February 4, 2021 in an Assembly of Defense Ministers of the countries of Indian Ocean region, which was held on the sidelines of the largest Asian air show Aero India 2021 in Bangalore, India, under the chairmanship of the Indian Minister of Defense. The conclave of defense ministers of the Indian Ocean region's country is an initiative to promote dialogue within that institutional and economic framework to foster the development of peace, stability, prosperity in the Indian Ocean regions in a cooperative environment. The general theme of this year's Assembly of Defense Ministers is Enhanced Peace, Security, Cooperation in Indian Ocean. Represented by the Assembly of Defense Minister of Indian Ocean region countries by the Ambassador of the Republic of Djibouti in India, Mr. Said Absi Warsama, and Colonel Wais Omar Bogore, Commander of the Coast Guard. For his part, the Minister of Defense in charge of relations with the Parliament, His Excellency Hassan Umar Mohammed, intervened virtually by video conference in a rich speech in which he first paid tribute to the excellent fraternal and historic relations between the Republic of Djibouti and the Republic of India. Continuing his speech, the Minister of Defense in charge of relations with Parliament welcomed the effort of the Indian government, which despite the COVID-19 pandemic, which is experiencing a second virulent wave, has agreed to host this major event, which is essentially for the safety and security of the maritime domain and the regions of the region and that of the world, aware of the geostrategic positions of the Republic of Djibouti, which gives it a weight in the region. The Minister of Defense responsible for relations, Hassan Umar Mohammed, assured the Assembly of the Ministers of Defense of the Indian Ocean region the total involvement of the Republic of Djibouti. The National Agency for People with Disabilities, in collaboration with the Ministerial Department, hosted a workshop this morning at the People's Palace to popularize the mobility and inclusion card and the decree on the employment of people with disability. The mobility card, which has greatly improved the living conditions of the people with disability in Djibouti. This novel initiative, which is part of the framework of equal opportunity and opposes discriminations which must often constitute the social isolation of families and people with disability. The ceremony of this workshop took place in the presence of the Director General of the NPH, Mr. Douale Said Mahamoud, the Minister of Budget, Abdul Karim Adancher, the Minister of Health, the Minister of Telecommunication, the Minister of Education, the Minister of Labor, and the Mayor offices, the President of the Djiboutian Civil Society, and officials of the institution. For his part, the Director General of the NPH, Mr. Douale Said Mahamoud, has indicated the mobility card, which has greatly improved the living conditions of people with disability in Djibouti. For his part, the Minister of Budget, Abdul Karim Adancher, said for his part this noble this noble initiative, which is part of the framework of equal opportunity and opposes discrimination, which must often constitute the social isolations of family and people with disability. For his part, the Minister of Health, Muhammad Warsama Diriye, has indicated the mobility card, which has greatly improved the living conditions of people with disability in Djibouti. The Minister of Education, Mustafa Mohammed Mahamoud, has indicated the mobility card, which has greatly improved the living conditions of people with disabilities in Djibouti. And the Minister of Labor, Isman Ibrahim Roble, for his part, indicate that this novel initiative, which is part of the framework of equal opportunity and opposes discriminations, which must often constitute the social isolations of family and people with disability. The Minister of Health, Muhammad Warsam Adiri, received yesterday in his office a Saudi delegation led by the ambassador of the Saudi Arabia in Djibouti, Abdul Aziz bin Abdullah Al Madar. The Saudi delegation was composed of eminent doctors from the King Salman Humanitarian and Relief Center who are planning to lead a medical surgical caravan in our country. The discussion between the Saudi ambassador and the Minister of Health focused on the various health cooperation programs, particularly on the issue of raising the technical platforms with the acquisitions of new medical equipment and the project to extend the dialysis centers, which will be implemented very soon. The Saudi diplomat and the minister did not fail to record the age-older ties of friendship, fraternity, and cooperation between our two countries. The King Salman Humanitarian Aid and Relief Center is planning to lead a medical surgical caravan specializing in pediatric urology for children and general surgery, among others, from 18 February to 25 February 2021. The People's Palace has hosted on Saturday, February 6, the International Day of Zero Tolerance for Female Genital Mutilations, in collaboration with the National Union of Djiboutian Women, UNFD, and UNFPA, under the theme Nation for the promotion of the eliminations of female genital mutilations. Coordinate and systematic efforts involving the whole community are necessary and must focus on humanitarian rights, gender equality, and pay particular attention to the need of women and girls who have undergone such practices. The Minister of Family conveyed this awareness with a colorful evening of Hadith massage bureaus and sketch. This traditional song and different artists of the national scene were present, notably Awali Adan, Muhammad Sangor, Fafi Harun, and with the projections of sensitization screening focusing on female genital mutilation. The Minister of Women, Muhammad Hassan, said this day saw the participations of the Mayor of Djibouti, Fatma Awal Osman, the Secretary General of the Secretary of State for Youth and Sport, Khadija Ibrahim Idris, UN representative, the representative of the EU, and several anonymous persons. The President of the National Human Rights Commission, Mr. Saliban Omar Udin, signed today, February 8, 2021, a memorandum of understanding with the Director General of the National Police, Colonel Abdullahi Abdi Farah, the Deputy Commanders of the Coast Guard, the Lieutenant Colonel Muhammad Adawa Muhammad. It is together that human rights will be promoted and protected in general, and in particular in the field of migration. These protocols are in line with this approach and will enable information and meeting centers in the regions to be supported. These partnerships will also aim to strengthen the collaboration between our institutions, mainly in the framework of identifying, dealing, and monitoring human rights violations among the local population as well as migrants. This has been done with the support of GIS BMM, a program commissioned by the German Federal Ministries for Economic Cooperation and Development and co-financed by the European Union. It is in the context of an international pandemic and a significant risk to fruit and vegetable supplies that the Djibouti Chamber of Commerce, in close collaboration with the management of Djibouti Shipping Company, DSC, has undertaken to diversify the sources of import of these important commodities through the national fleet. To this end, the first accessible market was the Federal Republic of Somalia, served weekly by DSC. It was with this in mind that the Djibouti Fruit and Vegetable Union concluded a contract with their Somali counterpart to offer new product on the local market every week. This first delivery marks the return of Somali product to the national soil and, with the help of the national institutions, allows access to quality product at a good price. Yesterday, the CDC of Hajidide hosted the distributions of kimono for the different CDC of the capitals by the Djibouti Judo Federation. These distributions of kimono for the various clubs of the CDCs of Djibouti City took place in the presence of the President of the Djibouti Judo Federation, Mr. Faisal Abdurrahman, the Director of Sports, Mr. Abshir Ali Hassan, the Head of the Department of and Monitoring Programming of the CDC, Mr. Ahmed Ali, as well as several directors of the various CDC and instructors of judo clubs. This initiative is part of the popularization of the practice for the sport of this sport and its promotions in the Republic of Djibouti. The President of Judo Federations and the Director of Sports of the Department of Youth and Sports underlined in chorus that judo is a martial art sport discipline that can convey federating values and favor among the young people self-control and the promotions of a better integration is far from delinquency and destructive debauchery. Under the leadership of Mr. Yahya Musaige, the head of the customs of Arta district, the customs officers of the PK 51 yesterday proceeded to the insertions of the nearly 800 kilograms of smuggled cat, says that during recent routine missions to fight against illegal trade. Indeed, it was during control operations carried out in the National Road 1 Barra sectors that customs officers discovered and intercepted a dozen of packages, each containing more than 150 packages of cat hidings in 2 cars, a taxi and a bus coming from the southern region of the country. In collaboration with the gendarmerie and the valuable assistance of anonymous informant, the operations led to the seizures of a large quantity of cat and the arrest of the alleged perpetrator. The seizures of the smuggled goods is not new in these sectors of Arta region. For his part, the customs chief of the Arta district stressed, we would like to thank all those who have helped us in the success of this operation to fight against illicit trafficking, which, as we know, damaged the economy and the security of our country. For the international scene, the authorities have reported around 100 missing persons. The breakup of the glacier caused a flood that swept everything in its path. The death of 14 people was confirmed on Monday by the authorities, according to a provisional assessment of the Antakland State Authority, who also reported between 125 and 200 missing, according to sources. Dozens of employees of the 2 power plants installed on the Rishiganga Dam are missing, as well as local residents who were swept away while tending their livestock. According to the authorities, the dam was devastated by the flood caused by the fall of a huge piece of glacier that broke off from a mountain wall upstream. The Prime Minister Trivendra Singh Rawat said at least 125 people were missing, but the toll could rise. This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.